My name's Miguel. I've got Tristan and Curtis with me. I'm literally just winging this podcast. I thought we'd just get them together and we'd just talk a little bit of crap. But basically, Tristan and Curtis were the first apprentice that I hired through Groom Barbershop. And at the moment, they're just traveling. So I'll start with Tristan. But basically, I just want you to say some stuff about yourself. Mainly age, school, and just whatever's happening, really.
Yeah, sweet. So I'm 25 now. Went to South Rocky High here. Like Miguel said, been with Groom Barbershop since the start. And then just got sick of working with Miguel. So I thought I'd go travel around Australia and see all the other Asians that have come over here and taken over pretty much. It's been pretty good though. Traveling around with Curtis. He's all right. Talk some trash, but
I haven't killed you yet, mate.
Nah, not yet.
We're waiting for it.
Yeah. I'm dying on the inside though.
A couple close calls, but we're all right.
Yeah.
And you, Curtis?
Me, my turn. All right. So I did my apprenticeship here with Miguel probably roughly 3 years ago, and then moved to the sunny coast, lived there for 2 years, done just barbering the whole time, and same deal for the last year and a half, been travelling around with Tristan in a tin can around Australia, and yeah, it's getting a bit frosty lately, so I decided to come back to town and earn some money, but I'm heading off in 2 weeks, still don't know where I'm going, but we'll figure that out.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's definitely random. So I think what is probably a bit more different for people to understand is I think it's a spin out for me that you guys were the first workers basically, and then it's got this whole gone full circle kind of thing, and you guys are back here and stuff. I think it's a spin out, especially because Tristan, for example, when I did hire you, or even to sit here in the shop now, it's weird because literally I just didn't even figure out who I was gonna have as my first apprentice, and I just you remember the story or whatever. I was just messaged you I think 2 months out of opening up the business, had everything together, and then was like, hey bro, do you want to be a barber? And you didn't even mention being a barber or anything like that, and then I didn't even have a backup, and you literally said no the first time, which is a spin out for me as well. Do you think that's weird?
Yeah, no, it was because I didn't really think that barbering was going to be my career or passion or anything. Never really thought I'd do it, at all. And then, I think you cut my hair one time, and I was saying that I want to get apprenticeship or full-time job to start growing up, being independent and all that.
Electrician though.
Yeah, electrical or something like that. Good money.
Yeah.
But and then you hit me up for the job, and yeah, like I said, no first, and just trying to figure out budgets and all that. And then the more we talked about it, and it was just getting closer and closer, and it just sounded better and better, and just thought, screw it, why not try it? If it doesn't work, I'm in the same position anyway. And then broke my leg playing footy and couldn't work, and you said yeah, so there we were. Yeah.
Literally first day. I think the picture that even with both of us for the paper, and you've got the moon boot on. I reckon that's a trip out as well. And even with Curtis, I remember the first time Curtis did his trial, you were freaking out because I think you were cutting Sam's hair and you put a part line in, and I think you cut him the tiniest bit, and you
I was spazzing out, man.
Spazzing, yeah.
I thought he was going to bleed out in the chair.
And then some of the stuff that I've heard you do or I've seen you do, I'm like, bro, that was nothing really.
Yeah, it's nothing. Water under the bridge.
Yeah. It's a story that I had to mention right now, but bro, for everyone that wants to hear the stupidest crap that a barber has ever mentioned, Curtis definitely takes the cake.
Yeah.
So he needs I was gonna say a crown, but he needs a helmet. But basically,
another one.
Curtis does not listen to anyone at all. If you're a client of his, he actually does not listen to you whatsoever. So he actually had someone sit in his chair. This was on South Side. This was the first year or 2 years of cutting. And basically, Curtis is like, hey, what do you got planned today? And realistically, that means I'm not really listening to you. I'm just doing a nice gesture. So the dude sits down and he's like, oh man, I've actually got a funeral on. I think it's I think it was his dad's funeral. I'm going to go to that. And then Curtis goes, yeah, sweet as, man. So what are we doing today? And then I'm like, holy crap. I didn't say anything just in case I misheard that or something. And then after the dude walked out and all that kind of stuff, I'm like to Curtis, oh, bro, did you listen to what that dude said? And Curtis no, I didn't even hear. I said, bro, the dude said he's going to his dad's funeral and you're sweet as.
Yeah, man, straight over the top. Didn't even bat an eye, eh?
Bro.
Proper big smile too. Smile and full grin.
Yeah, real happy about it. Yeah.
See you next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a shocker there when I was in Sunny Coast too. when I had some dude come in and like he sit in the chair and same deal. What are you up to today? And just like didn't even hear the reply. And he kind of like sounded funny. So I was like, oh, so where you from, mate? Where you from? He's like, oh, from here. I was like, that doesn't sound like a sunny coast accent. And he's like, oh, no, I had a stroke. That's why I talk this way. Oh.
Bro.
That's the last time I ever assumed someone's got an accent, man.
No good, yeah.
Like, yeah.
He's gonna have different colored skin, have this like full strong accent, look completely different. You're not gonna budge.
I'm gonna say, yeah, g'day, mate.
Yeah. Yeah. So on the whole barbering aspect as well, like obviously you guys are traveling around. Like, how is it used to together in this tin can, actually traveling around doing your thing? Like, tell people about that, because I think that's probably the more interesting thing, that you guys are kind of dodging the rat race a little bit, but then trying to travel around, especially during COVID or when COVID was kind of doing this thing. Like you guys share your stories on that.
Bro, it sucks. No. It's good. It's good. Chasing that dream, chasing that freedom. You know, like everyone talks about they want to do this. All older fellas always say they miss out on doing this and they wish they've done it before and all that. And just don't want to get to, 30, 40 years old and be wondering why I didn't do it or what could have been if we did actually just jump in the van and go. But I definitely think it's the best thing for anyone to do. Yeah. I think if you're in a rut, you don't know what you're doing, fresh out of school or whatever, jump in a car, go to an island, work in an island for like 3 months, 4 months, and you're going to meet people with the best like life experiences. And they can teach you better than what anyone in your hometown can. Just to get out of there, do something different.
100%, man. I found like even a big thing for me, even coming back to hometown, is like I'm not so nervous about seeing people. Like, for some reason, I just remember when I was in, like, I don't know, I guess the stresses of the modern world just kind of get to you, man. And when you're out on the road, you do wake up some mornings and it's like, I literally get to do whatever I want today. Yeah. And I don't have to go anywhere tomorrow. And like realistically, you find yourself doing those things you're always going to get around to anyway. Like for us, I like we love music, so I've been playing guitar heaps, and Tristan's been playing the uke, and we play didgeridoo, and just we've been skating as well. Like it's just food for the soul, really. Yeah. Like I've been loving it. 100%.
Getting out of your comfort zone is one of the best things too, I think. And that's something helped too. We just do random stuff. Like we went through Uluru, found out that they were doing didgeridoo workshop, and thought surely we can't be the whitest dudes there trying to play didgeridoo. So we jumped out there.
Were you?
Nah.
There was wider people.
Bro, there was this dude there from Europe, man, with like PVC pipe, like extendable little didgeridoo.
Yeah, like he made it at Bunnings, man.
Yeah, it was crazy. But no, I think it is one of the best things to do. You just get out for a little bit, experience something different, and get out of your shell. I think when you stay at home for too long, you kind of can get complacent, get in the same rut and the same, routine all the time, I guess. Yeah. Getting out there, doing different things, you just hear from different people and different stories and learn new life experiences you never have to learn yourself, if that makes sense. So I think it's one of the best things to do. Get out there and just do something different. Get out of your comfort zone. If you don't like it, you come back and you're doing the exact same thing you were doing before you left anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's not really much of a loss.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. It's weird because like I feel like your lives and basically my life is like the complete two spectrums. Like I understand the rat race. Like I feel like it's more of a game than anything. I just know that I need to play it to be able to, like, I do want to travel eventually, but I definitely reckon it's like for me for the future. Like the only reason why I wouldn't have done it earlier is like I wanted something to come back to when I do, like, when I do travel. Like that's my only perspective on it. Like it's better that you guys are younger, like, and you got stuff going on, but I think that's the only thing that's ever held me if I ever thought about it. Like even when I'm looking at my position now and looking back at younger, I literally don't think I still would travel like at all. Maybe if I knew COVID was happening when it did, I'd probably want to travel a little bit, but it's probably one of those things that when something's taken away, like I want to do it. But outside of all that, I reckon, I'm definitely probably going to travel older, but yeah, I don't know. That's like, it's weird.
Yeah, that's a double, it's either you one or the other.
Yeah, like, definitely. Yeah.
For us, because once you get that momentum going, like it's like, what do I go back to?
Yeah.
And like that's nerve wracking, but also like that whole I've got nothing to lose mentality is, where you kind of thrive, and that's where the excitement for the whole experience comes from. But I totally get what you're saying. You want to go travel, but come home to something.
Yeah. Like I get it, because it's like I don't know. It depends. Like I guess one of the things that I heard like quite young is like there's 3 stages in life. Like depending on which way you want to look at it or whatever. So when you're younger, you have like the energy, and you have the time, but you don't have money. Then you're like mid-age, you have like the energy, the money, but no time. And then you're older, you've got the money, the time, no energy. So it depends on what spectrum you want to go at or what you're going to do with that kind of stuff. But whenever I'm looking at myself, I'm like, all right, well, I've got a baby now. Like I'm turning 30, probably going to pop out another one. No way I'm going to travel because it'll be a shit show having like a little baby like crying around and stuff like that. But I reckon I would do the same thing where I'll get I always think it's like a breakfast meal, like the Winnebago. What is it? What's it called?
Winnebago, the big vans.
Yeah, the big vans. I want to get one of those, just deck it out, and then have my dogs and like Cora and our soon to be daughter, most likely, and
it's become more popular, bro. More people are doing that.
Yeah.
But I think it determines too on what you want to be doing with yourself. Like you had a bit of a plan, you had an idea on what you wanted to do.
Yep.
Whereas we were just bumming around and figuring life out. We didn't really have a plan. Like we knew we were gonna make money and eat. That's about it.
The purpose, man.
Yeah. So like I was nearly thinking about moving down to Sunny Coast with Curtis before we started going, and just barbering down there, living down there. But I just kept thinking, that if I did that, I'm in the exact same hole I am here, except like the exact same routine and everything, except spending a lot more money, trying to do stuff that I'm not really going to do. So I thought, screw it, let's try something different and wing it, And lucky for me, I had not really anything going on, wasn't really aspiring to anything, no plans or anything. So I thought, why not go? And then if it changes, it changes. But I think it does depend on what you want to do in your life too and what you want out of it. But if you don't know nothing, got no plans.
Nothing to lose. That makes most sense anyway. So to tell people that would be listening to this, like, how did you guys start? Like, bring us back to when you guys even looked at a van, like what you were looking for, how much you spent, what was on the agenda, or if you had to give yourself advice at this, like at the start again, like knowing what you're knowing, what would you tell yourself or people that, that were in that position?
Well, I started thinking of it, just all honesty out there, I was in pretty low point in just mental health wise and stuff, and just wanted a big change and get out of what I was doing, just try something completely different, get out of the routine. So that's why I was thinking about moving down to Sunny Coast, and then same thing, I thought I'd just be in the same spot, just in a new location. So I thought, screw it, we'll go stuff around the van and travel around. I was talking to Curtis one night, and he was kind of starting to get into the same rut, same hole, and I just said, bro, you want to come through, man. Like, I want to do this regardless. And then we started off, just literally bought a van, like 10 grand for the van, just courtesy bus, Pelican Waters courtesy bus.
Shout out.
Yeah.
And then strip the seats out, chuck in some bunk beds and a fridge and a spare battery, and that was it. I think we spent 12 grand all up, included the van. So 2 grand set up, everything. Really simple, really dodgy, but
like,
that's what we were expecting.
Like, we were lucky in a lot of ways. Like, my 2 roommates at the time, so I had Chap's a chippy. So he told us what to do. We got the car, we took everything out. We went around to like job sites on Australia Day and just nicked a bunch of wood. Because though Chippy works on Australia Day and put up.
Bro, if any chippies are listening to this, holy bro.
Shout out.
Sorry, but nah, it wasn't here. It was Sunny Coast.
Yeah.
But and then Rhiannon, my other roommate, she was a mechanic. So we went there and like we almost got ripped off a couple times too. Like, that's a big thing, like, for the journey, even though you're just so excited and so keen to leave right now. Like, you've got to shop around and make sure you get like a decent vehicle, like a good car, just because you live in it.
That was us. We're pretty antsy people. Think about something, we want to do it straight away. So we nearly bought this van that was all decked out. Everything was good, but mechanically it wasn't set. And we were so close to being like 500K down the road, 5 grand to fix it. So, we were pretty lucky.
We did jag it. And like, stuff all savings, man. Like, both of us hit the road. Had
a tax return. That was it.
At a tax return, yeah. And just fuel and peanut butter sandwiches and oranges, man, and beaches.
Yeah, you want to lose weight, get broke, and then go travel on the road. Secret.
And no KFC.
No KFC.
Nah, there's no KFC.
That's
for
the down
like
point.
Hours, man. Yeah. Where we were at.
So when did you guys start actually traveling, and how long has it been, and basically where have you guys been to?
Yeah, so we've been on it's been a work holiday, I guess. So we've almost been doing travel 2 months, work 2 months, travel 2 months, work 2 months. We haven't planned it that way. It's just kind of worked out that way. So like, we traveled from here straight into like all up through Airlie. We went up through Airlie. Sorry.
When was that? When did you guys start?
I don't remember. February last year.
Feb last year. It was still hot.
Yeah.
And we go through like straight into Alice Springs. Yeah,
From here?
from
No, we went up Early Beach Way.
yeah. You
And
do
then we
this,
done
man. I'm a bit.
Curtis's cousin had his 21st birthday on Hamilton Island.
right.
So the great start to our trip. Great
Yeah, that
start.
was good.
Had that. And then we did a slow 2-week trip down towards Brizzy Ways. And on the way through we went through Airlie, what was it? 1770, Agnes,
Yeah,
Bagara, Harvey Bay. As we went through Harvey Bay, we found out Fraser Island was hiring. So we just jumped on there. Never done bartending before. Just thought, something different, something cool, different experience. So we worked there for 3 months. And then from there, we pretty much went west out through towards Alice
Recommend
Springs,
for everyone.
Uluru.
Work
That's
on
it.
Fraser.
Work on Fraser.
on
Very fun, beautiful island. Beautiful island. But yeah, and then we went to Uluru, spent a couple nights up there, learned to play didgeridoo, trying to be black. And then sort of down south through Coober Pedy down to Port Augusta and crossing Nullarbor. Really good, but really long drive.
Yeah.
And then we spent, what would it be, 4 months in Perth?
We got stitched up before that because we had to quarantine on the Nullarbor for 2 weeks, man. Remember? Yeah, that was stressful. Tristan had a bit of a moment at the border.
Yeah. It was a stressful meltdown there.
Proper meltdown.
Yeah. Because we were driving through and when we were buying the didgeridoos, we couldn't afford it. We couldn't afford it. We were working it out that we got to Perth and had to work the next week to be able to actually eat that next week. And then we get to the border and they're like, yeah, we've changed the laws. So Queensland's a medium risk, so you can't come through. You got to quarantine 14 days. And we're like, but we haven't been in Queensland since 30th of September last year. And they're like, that's when we changed it. So, you're going to have to quarantine. We were like, all right, well, we can't really afford it together. And she's like, no, you have to do it separate.
Oh.
We've been traveling in the van for 6 months together. What the hell?
Yeah.
Anyway, she's like, you have to do it separate. We're like, nah, too broke for that. She's like, well, your best bet's go back in South Australia and hope nothing bad happens. So travel back in there. What was it, 8 days we had to waste?
Yeah, 8 days.
5 or 8 days? Yeah, 8 days. So just bunged around, gambling little towns, sussing out skate parks, trying not to hurt ourselves. And then, waste that time, drove through and she was all breezy.
Yeah, it was all good. It was all good. But when it first hit us, because we were just so focused on this was the plan, and then all of a sudden that wasn't it.
Yeah.
For the next 8 days, you guys have to figure it out. And
low on money.
Low on money, man. I remember dead set, it was peanut butter sandwiches and oranges, and then we were just pretty much kicking footies at football fields and riding at skate parks. And I remember when we got into WA, I had $17 in my account. Tristan had broken his arm, so he couldn't work. He broke in his hand. At
Of course.
skate
That was
park.
over here in
Yeah,
Harvey Bay.
Yeah, Harvey Bay. The day we quit on Fraser, he broke his arm.
Yeah.
And and then we get into Perth, and I had $17 in my account. I hit up a bunch of barbershops on Instagram and just had a trial the next day, bro, and our full-time gig by Friday. And it's just we get to Tristan's mum house, and it's lamb shanks and roast veggies and a shower.
That's luxury.
It's the simple things, man.
Porcelain toilet's luxury for us
Yeah,
now,
bro.
man. Something to sit on to go
Bro.
toilet. Ooh.
Yeah.
Rest them hips a little bit, eh?
Bush squats, man.
And they're quick though. They make it quick. You get that good position. You're only there for 2 minutes. You're gone. Ain't no mucking around. You ain't dawdling on your phone when you're at bush.
No reception anyways.
Nah.
So you guys are in Perth now, with the story that you're saying?
Yeah.
So we're in Perth. Picked up the barbershop gig there, staying at my mum and sister's place. Sister had fresh baby as well, so that was pretty cute. Got to hang out with him. And then what was next?
So
You
next,
had to go Brizzy.
next, I went to Brizzy to go hang out with my family for Christmas, and so I was lucky enough that I took all my tools there. So when I went there, all of a sudden there was a spike in COVID again, and in Brisbane it just hit really, really big. And so I was running out of coin, so I was like, all right, same deal, Instagram again, find myself another barbershop gig in the Valley. And so I was there for roughly 2 months or so, and the only way for me to get back into WA, because I wasn't there long enough to be a resident, and I couldn't quarantine at the house because we had the baby there. He was preemie as well, so I didn't want to risk that. And we found Karratha. So Karratha, I needed that work accommodation to quarantine, and so they made us sign a contract. You go over there, they sold us a bit of a golden goose, and we got over there. It just wasn't, man, but still thankful for the time we spent in Karratha. But yeah, we were there for a bit, saw a couple people, worked, save up a bit of money. But as soon as we saw the cracks, man, we jumped ship pretty early. And then that was the stage where we're like, all right, where do we go now? We don't want to go back to Perth. We already spent enough time in Perth. we don't want to go any further north because the flies are bad and it's hot. So we decided to just do a bit of a road trip hitting up. We spent like almost 2 weeks in Exmouth, and that was mint, man. Like we just got a national park pass and just hit up a new beach every day, just go snorkeling and swimming and just back to basics.
Yeah, live that bum life to the best.
Yeah. And then like we got into this place called Northampton. Northampton. And I get a call because I'm always applying for random jobs on Seek. And I got a call, and there's a lady says, "Hey, we've reviewed your resume for Rottnest Island. We want to have a interview with you. Can you start?" And I was like, "Oh well, I got a mate with me as well, so can you get him a gig?" And they said, "Yeah." So we went and done our went to Rottnest Island, had our interview over there, and that was pretty cool, man. Rotto's pretty sick. Everyone sits around on push bikes, and
They got Subway on the island,
yeah.
like the Subway.
Oh,
Never
the
thought I'd
food.
see that. Yeah, like
Oh,
the food
yeah,
Subway.
yeah.
Nah, train system.
Yeah, that's
bro.
what I was thinking. I was like, bro. Okay.
Yeah, so we were there, and it's got all the quackers and all that stuff. We had a bit of fun.
Wait, Quokkas is like that weird, like it's like the only place in the world that has these things. Eh?
Yeah, that's
I only found out about them like 2-3 weeks ago.
really.
Yeah, I've never heard of them.
They're pretty cute, but after a couple of days of working with them, bro, they're like rats and seagulls mixed together.
Oh,
like
really?
you'll be
They're
eating your
bad.
food like literally in your plate, and they'll climb up on the table and just grab your pizza and walk off with it.
Yeah, well, I thought that was
Yeah.
interesting. Like, so that's the only place in the whole world that they have these quackers. And what's it mixed with? It's like a kangaroo, like a wallaby mixed with.
Yeah, it looks like a rat mixed with a wallaby,
Yeah.
I reckon. But yeah, there's no other predators on the island. That's why. So there's all these, and like the only other predators would be a snake, and even then, there's enough like birds and stuff around to be getting them, and there's just tons of them, man. There's so many, But like we only did Roddy for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I didn't even know you guys went there, eh?
Yeah, well, that's why.
Short-lived.
Man.
Yeah.
Short-lived. It was cool. Like, it was a good experience. It was just cold, man. And we were like, stuff this. Stuff all money. Like, this isn't Fraser, right? like,
yeah. That's the thing with the islands. You get a really good living situation. Just the money's not the best.
yeah.
So you're picking lifestyle over savings. But, I mean, when you're
Yeah.
on there, you don't spend much unless you're drinking heaps.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like we started working there the winter time anyway, so they started closing a lot of the good socializing spots. So we jumped ship. Tristan told them.
Yeah, pretty much made up. I had a family emergency over in Queensland. I had to jump on the boat.
We left that
next
night,
morning.
man.
What
Yeah.
happens if they watch this and you guys are just freaking...
Oh, you should have seen him on his on the shift, man. I was just cleaning glasses, and Tristan's just having it out with our manager, like just not like him because he's just rude.
They were all good, bro. They were all good, like really good. But there was this one manager. His name was James. Nah, it's not.
Oh, I was going to say, bro, what the hell?
Nah, but it was just, I don't know, busy day. A couple people called in sick and just wasn't really helping. And I haven't worked much in hospo, but even I was sitting there looking like, bro, laughing on your phone behind the bar is not the best. You can jump out and help. And I was getting snarky and it was just getting bad. And then, just got fed up with it and pretty much told them that night, like, hey, guys, we got to go the next day. And then there was a cyclone going around the area too, really bad weather. Right, yeah. So if we didn't leave that next day, we would have been stuck there for the whole week because they canned all the ferries. And the only way off was by aeroplane.
Yeah.
Or,
But
or Subway.
Yeah, all the subway, under the ocean. But the plane ticket was like, I think you just had to pay for the whole plane. So if you had like 12 people, it worked out like $200 each. But otherwise, it was just us two. We pay an arm and a leg just to try and get off the island. So
yeah, we're lucky to get out of that. But we literally like left, and then the day after, all those cyclone hectic winds came, and there were a bunch of other people that were a bunch of Euros heading back to Spain. And so they had to wait the following day, and they had to get the charter plane, and we saw it on their stories, rented out the plane and got to Perth and then flew to Spain. But we were just so stoked we didn't have to do that because there was only like six seats on this plane too.
yeah, it's not big.
Nah,
So we
it's not
dodged
big.
the bullet, but a little bit dodgy ways, but it is what it is. I'm sure
Yeah.
they've had worse.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then we were pretty much chilling out in Perth for a bit, man. And we heard the Groom Booze Bus was back over here, and we're like, oh man, they were so fun. So we got to come back over here, and it was getting a bit cold anyway. And so we pretty much booked it back.
Yeah.
And it was freezing, eh? It was so cold.
That'd be one thing I'd say. Insulate your van or your car, whatever you get insulation. -3 degree mornings in South Australia is not fun. Not fun when you got nothing except a hoodie and trackies.
It's like being in Karratha without a fan. You know, it's the equivalent of just how bad it is, man. Like, that's what you need. You need, like, thermals and you need a portable fan because, like, even just the airflow through, like, the van, because those flies, like, you pull over on the side of the road, man, and you'll just have a phone call with someone for, like, couple seconds, like, nothing, and all the windowsill will just be chockers with flies.
Oh, for real? Yeah.
Oh, it's bad. They stress you out, man. They stress you out.
You want to punch on with someone, They get that bad. We're like real shame on getting those like hair nets, the fly nets, sorry.
Yeah.
Real shame. We're like, nah, look at these like weirdos, man, wearing those.
People
We
going for
lived
jobs.
in them.
Yeah. Did you ever wear the friggin' the hats with like the corkscrews on it? You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what the go is? I only found
I'm not
out
blinking
recently
now,
what the
bro.
go is with that as well.
What do you mean? Like how it works?
Well, they reckon that they put water on the corkscrews, so like the flies go on the corkscrews.
Yeah, well,
Is
that's
that
what
what it
they're
is?
Supposedly,
attracted
I don't
to,
know.
the moisture.
I thought it'd be going flying around.
That's what I
keep 'em
thought,
off your
like to
face.
swat them away, bro. But
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
Yeah, like I don't know. I know. Well, I was talking to a fella in the barbershop there, and he's a fisherman, works on like the trawlers, and he reckons he'd go out 4 hours out at sea, and the flies are still there. Like, you think that they're just fish bait by that stage,
Yeah.
but stuff that.
Nah, that was shocking.
We met some cool people there, but for sure, like we ended up going out like to all the Dampier Islands. We met this dude. He does vlogging, and yeah, we just pretty much fangirled on it.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's like, I got a boat. His boys are keen, and we're like, yeah, sweet. So,
Yeah, you just come in the
This sounds like a
barbershop.
setup, bro. Like,
yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly.
come on my boat.
yeah, fake island.
Nah, but it was good.
Nah, it was legit.
Yeah, he just vlogs around his camping and fishing trips and all this and chucks it on YouTube. And I was cutting his hair and he's telling me about it one day. And I was telling him, like, bro, they told us that all locals will take us out in the boats and all this. No one's offered. And he's like, you want to come out? And this is like the week before we're leaving, eh? So it was like literally our last weekend in Karratha. He's like, yeah, all right, I'll take you out. We'll go out Dampier on the boat and all this. And it was pretty sick. We went out spearfishing. We weren't spearfishing. We were just snorkeling, but it was sick.
I go
It
to
was
the
cool.
toilet.
Okay.
I'm not going to do a Rick Ross on you, man. It'll be sweet.
Oh, good.
But nah, it's been good, eh? Definitely loved it. Just freedom, living life how you want it and make it work. Like that's everyone's dream at the end of the day, I guess.
Yeah.
But then you have your downsides because we do it real slack ways, you know, always low on money, always on tight, always watching the bank and stuff like that. So, you know, if I was going to think back to setting it up anything better, definitely set up the bank account a little bit more and maybe four-wheel drive, just have accessibility to all different places, actually camp on the beach and do some better places like that, you know, full driving up some rocks, get real secluded places and all that. But nah, it's been awesome. I don't know how I'm going to stop, eh? I'll have to knock someone up around somewhere, like a cool place or something, eh?
Yeah. I
Find
think that'll
myself
be
a
the only
doctor,
way.
you know, before she realizes I'm not too smart either, get her pregnant, make her stuck. Nah.
Yeah. No, that sounds right. Is there any like real hectic stories that you guys would mention that you're allowed to mention, really?
We're allowed, I mean.
Yeah. Not
That's a hard
the
one. That's a
Fraser
hard
girls
one.
stuff, like just something random. Even this was one of the questions I was gonna ask actually. Whilst being on the road, have you seen any like weird alien sky star crap?
No, we haven't seen any alien stuff, but there's a place called Wycliffe Wells, I think it's called, up in Northern Territory, and they're supposed to be the most common place for UFO sightings in Australia. Like they reckon they get one every week throughout the year.
Yep.
Like they spot them. So we're out there and it's out in the sticks, nothing there. So we didn't stick around too long. But you know, I was watching out, trying to keep an eye out for them, but didn't see anything. Heard some alright stories of people thinking they've seen stuff and all that around, but not really seen any alien stuff yet. Keeping an eye out though. Is really,
Yeah. I thought surely with you guys being on the road, as long as you guys do, like surely you'd see something.
Yeah, no. Well, we've seen some gremlins. We're pulling into just
Gremlins?
inside the border of WA there, and we pulled up near some town and just on the side of the road on a phone call, and this weirdo just gets out of his dodgy as like Hilux, like proper sketchy, walks over like he's hobbling over and stuff, and then he just knocks on the window and starts talking to Curtis about random stuff. He's like, "You guys all right?" Like, and then starts carrying on about COVID and his conspiracies, and he reckons there's this old Japanese war book. And it's about how Japanese conquered the war and how they fight and be soldiers and all this. And he's like, you got to read this and this is what's going on with COVID, mate. And,
Oh, yeah.
you know, he's proper talking like this to us through the window. And Curtis got the window cracked.
Yeah,
Tiny little bit open. And he was an oddball. And
Yeah.
Jack Russell's running around the highway and he didn't care. And then it was weird.
I think you meant
Shut
like
down
legit
quick.
gremlin, like not a crackhead. Like
Nah, he wasn't a crackhead. I don't know.
He was closer to Gremlin than Crackhead.
Yeah, he
I
was,
reckon.
man. Yeah,
Just
he
a
had
creature.
He had a couple
Yeah.
flakes coming off him. Like,
Yeah,
he didn't look like the most hygienic guy out there.
You know our best mate over Southside, the trolley boy. Right, you look like him.
yeah.
Proper, yeah, on the same level as that dude. He's
Calling people out. Tell us his name, man.
Nah,
bro, he's not even a trolley boy. I couldn't be more like out of it than ever.
Nah.
So what was probably the highlight? What's the best spot that you guys have been to then?
Uluru was unreal, man.
Yeah.
Uluru was unreal. Like, it's very, like, it's sacred around
Yeah.
there. Like,
Yeah.
I recommend everyone's got to go check it out. Even like for us, like we weren't there for all that long, but you see the rock itself, like you see it in pictures and stuff like that. But it's colossal
Yeah.
in person. It
And
is.
you just didn't walk on it either, do you?
No, you can't.
Yeah,
You
yeah, I
can't,
know. Yeah, I just wasn't sure if you guys got there before it. I think
Nah,
I think it's
don't-
better not walking on it. Like,
Yeah.
And once you get there, and like for us, like we talked to heaps of people and everything before we kind of went there,
Yeah.
and you get the gist of it that that's not what it's there for.
No.
You know, like it's not a tourist trap. But yeah, as sad as it is, sometimes that's just what it tends to turn into. But yeah, that place was cool. Even just like all around the rock, man, there's so many little like nooks and crannies you wouldn't expect. Like, yeah.
Do you feel anything there? Because they like there's a conspiracy behind that as well. That the
Oh,
rock
really?
is basically a huge asteroid that is like plonked down into it. Because supposedly it goes like a lot further than what they make it out to be. And like this, you're supposed to feel something around there. They reckon.
Well, in the afternoons, man, it glows, eh?
Oh, it actually glows. Yeah.
Actual, like it's a light.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
It's pretty
And,
cool.
yeah, I've heard people say that, like they feel like how
Yeah.
spiritual and sacred it is when
Yeah,
they walk
yeah.
around. I thought it was all like, BS, people just talking up or
Yeah,
playing that
yeah.
placebo effect in their mind, but nah, it's real. It's real. You do feel something, and they've got certain areas where they have signs up where you can't take cameras and all this because of beliefs around the area, and you do go to those areas, and it does overcome you a little bit more, eh? Like,
Yeah, there's a calmness
explain
about
it.
the place.
yeah.
There's even like when we were cruising through the territory, like the rangers there were so nice.
Yeah.
You know, like pulling over, asking if they want, if they like we had fuel, and they still asking if they, can we top up your car for you? And here's some.
What the
water?
Rangers gave you fuel?
The Rangers, like
Ah.
they wanted to. We were already.
Imagine
full.
now, bro. You could like resell that.
Yeah, I know.
Make some money, bro.
I know, man. I know. But and that was even bizarre. Even like when we went to Alice Springs, man, like that place is that's something else. Alice Springs. Like we ended up going to the skate park there. And so we couldn't really get into this skate park. We were struggling. So we ended up just climbing the fence. And there were all these kids in there just around us, and we're all riding and stuff. And the copper ended up rocking up. And he's like coming over to me and Tristan, like, you guys aren't supposed to be here. Like, what are you doing? Like, we let everyone in because he reckons it was under construction, man. And then we start looking around. There's like wheelbarrows of concrete, just shit everywhere, obviously. But nah, the couple he was all sweet with it all. Like he said, you boys, as long as if you hurt yourself, it's on you. You can stay here for whatever you want. Just make sure you don't trash anything. And yeah, like,
Yeah, but he's talking to us like we're the leader of all these kids.
yeah, like we
Like
didn't
these
know
pasty
anyone.
white boys sitting out there in the middle of all these kids running around.
Like
He's
we
talking
got to
to us
pass on the message.
yeah, like we're youth leaders for these boys or something.
Well, were you
like-
guys the oldest ones, or?
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, fair enough then. Like,
yeah. I
Yeah,
get
it was
you.
just like, that was
But we
weird.
just bailed like straight after
Yeah.
that. We just bailed. But yeah, nah, it's cool. It's cool surrounding it. Like really nice, like natural wonders and all that type of stuff. But yeah, definitely wish I had a 4B, bro.
yeah, that's what
That's what I was
Tristan
saying.
mentioned,
Oh, did
mentioned
ya?
before. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I loved WA.
Yeah.
I reckon it's beautiful. I'm gonna say it. I reckon the beaches and the coastline there is better than Queensland.
He's lying.
And I'll say
Bro.
Ningaloo Reef is better than Great Barrier Reef. That's up like Exmouth where we were swimming and stuff. Beautiful.
Yeah, it is nice.
I'm calling WA better than Queensland
Oh,
personally, like beaches wise and stuff. Yep.
bro, you're gonna
yep.
get bashed in the shop, bro.
Bro, come at me. Come at me. What are you going to do? I'll shave your head.
Start talking AFL with Jaden, bro.
Nah, not that far, bro. Nah, there and South Australia is quite nice. Hey, really green, really
Yeah.
beautiful, cold, but there's just something that's got its own like calm, peaceful beauty to it, if that makes sense.
Wait. Remember the town where all the trees were on their side?
Yeah, because it's that windy from the Arctic winds. It's just they're proper like bent over, eh? Like the tops are touching the ground. It's like, all linked over. They've got one tree there that's famous for it, the leaning tree.
Yeah,
It's just,
Is it halfway or is it like?
it's proper like it just
Oh, yeah.
like grows
Goes
out
down.
and then across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but No, it's crazy. You see the whole plain of it's just all flat, all open. You see all these trees as leant over because how windy it is. But no, it's pretty cool. I love how the scenery changes so much around there. You hit like just past maybe central New South Wales, and you'll drive like every couple hundred K, and it changes so much. So it's not as boring as a drive as Queensland.
I found the days longer too.
Yeah. That was spinny too. You get over to WA, and it's like 7 o'clock at night and still bright. Yeah. And then that'd be like Queensland, like 9 o'clock and still light out. You're like, what the hell?
Yeah. Longer days. The heat was different. Like, I remember I was chatting to a copper out there. He reckons that it had hit like, easy late 40s all week, like degrees, so hot. And there's a prison out at Roebourne, which is in the middle of nowhere, and no aircons in it. Like, this copper reckons it's just a hot box. They don't even in the crib room. They just got one of those dirty as little, air cons. They pretty much just fit into the window, and that's all they got. Like,
it'll stop you going back.
Yeah.
Like the resources over on that side of Australia compared to this side of Australia is totally different. Like, even the health system over there is terrible compared to here.
Yeah, it was crazy going over there and learning all the differences, like just how different it can be in the same country. Like WA, the ambulance service is it isn't government funded; it's private funded because they have no tolls on the roads or anything over there. So you get busted up, you want to call ambulance, that's $900 straight up.
Oh.
So that was even different here, coming from here where people call up the ambulance as a taxi service. Pretty much,
Yeah, man. It's like calling Uber.
Yeah, that's what people do. People do. I heard some fellas in the barbershop tell me they've broken arms or their kids have bust themselves up and they'll call a cab or an Uber because it's way cheaper and stuff. And so that was pretty wild, and learning different fines around the areas and stuff like that was pretty different.
Because you got some, yep.
No, through clients, bro. Through talking to coppers, talking to coppers.
So one of my questions would be, what, like now that you have traveled, like where you guys have to, what is something like in even just Rocky alone that is actually, I don't know, nearly unique or something that's like, oh man, this is actually pretty cool? Because you guys have lived like in Rocky longer than other places. So like, since you guys have traveled around, like, is there something different here, or that you're like, oh, like now that I'm back, I didn't even freaking notice this, or like, this is actually pretty cool, or even just like, when we went to Sydney for our work trip, like, seeing all the Asians in Sydney and then coming back, there's like hardly any Asians here. But not only that, it's like just so chill, like just driving back late at night, not many cars on the road, and it just feels cruisy. Like, I actually like that kind of crap. So
yeah, like that cruising around, like we realized Rocky's a lot bigger than we thought. Like I
think it's a bit more condensed as well. Like even when I was in Gladstone, like everything seems so stretched out, but there's like nothing. But when you're in Rocky, there's actually like a whole bunch of crap, like, every corner kind of thing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like, mind you, when we were traveling, we didn't like going to the big cities, the big capital cities. We were trying to stick to towns like Rocky.
Yeah.
Or smaller, really. But yeah, I like it here. I'm trying to think of something that's unique, bro. Everyone knows where Rocky is, which was a bit.
Do they call it beef capital?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
no?
beef capital.
Okay,
yeah.
And if they don't know anything about Queensland, they just think Brisbane and Gold Coast is all of Queensland. That's all that's here,
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
Got the big bull at the roundabout.
Yeah. And
the town with balls and balls on the balls. That's what we carry on about, the balls. And people stealing them.
I think there's no balls anymore. Like,
they're pinched.
yeah.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
I think for me, coming back is realising the things I didn't really like back here aren't really that bad, if that makes sense.
No, it's all good. It'll ring out.
Yeah, like coming back and just some of the things I hated about being here, or I thought I hated about being here and stuff like that. And after being around other places and realising everything's pretty much the same where you go, it just puts it into perspective a little bit more, I think.
Yeah.
You have a little bit more appreciation for how slack and quiet it is, like no traffic. People can actually drive all right here. That's what I'm noticing.
Really?
But
Yeah,
WA,
man.
people can't drive.
Oh.
There's no fast lane or slow lane. They just drive, bro.
Yeah.
That's a bit
They
annoying.
have it. It's country drive. Like
Yeah,
out there.
Yeah. Little things like that, though. Nothing really major I could think of.
No, not as far as like the place itself, man. Good barbershops.
Yeah.
100%. Actually runs smoothly, which is good. But yeah, no, it's home, bro.
Yeah.
It's home.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
you
I don't
know?
think I'd like it or feel as comfortable coming back after the trip, to be honest. I thought I'd be so eager to just be gone after a couple of weeks, but there's just something weird, like weirdly comfortable about coming back. Does that make sense?
You almost, it feels like the reason I wanted to leave was because I had something inside me that wanted to get out, and then now I'm back, it's gone.
Yeah, weird.
That's a good way of saying it.
You know, like,
Well, they call like Rocky a black hole. You know what I mean? Like everyone's like finished school and they're like, "Oh man, I hate Rocky, freaking blah blah blah," and they go to Brisbane and then come back like 3 months later. Like,
But I think that's the thing too. They go to Brizzy thinking it's going to be a different life, and then they're living the exact same life, spending $300-400 more a week on anything like just to live.
yeah, yeah,
And then they get stuck and realize it's not really that good, if that makes sense.
definitely.
And that's what I reckon. People get out to Ireland. Screw Brisbane. Brisbane's not that good. Brisbane's not that good in my eyes. I reckon if you're going to do something different like that, go to Islands or suss out something different, because Brizzy's always going to be there.
Yeah.
All that stuff's going to be there. And realistically, with how much pricing that's going up, it's,
And
weigh
like,
out what's worth it. But
Yeah, and like I suppose even like for people that want to leave, like a lot of people do leave and go to Brizzy because they do get like sick of the drama of the whole small town bullshit that everyone knows each other. But like moving to new places, like we were in Karratha for 5 weeks and we knew everyone by the 3rd week.
yeah.
Like it's just it's all in your head.
Yeah.
You know, like if you want to be happy and make the most of where you're at, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah.
It's completely up to you.
Yeah, that and like what is bad about everyone knowing each other as well, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
you know, if you're going to do certain things and be known for it, I mean, like, fucking, you know, that's going to happen anywhere, but I don't know, I think it's kind of cool knowing, like, heaps of people in Rocky walking around and stuff, you know?
That's fun too, man.
Yeah.
That's what's been good about being back. Like, I see all these faces I forgot existed.
Yeah.
You
That's
know?
true.
Yeah.
I like coming back and sharing the stories with them too.
Yeah,
That's a good thing, yeah, because you always talk about it before you go. Oh man, we want to do this, want to do that, we want to do this, experience this, and you come back and you say, "Bro, I've actually done it."
Yeah, yeah.
And it's I know it's a good feeling saying that, eh? Like you actually
Yeah.
accomplished something and done some of the dreams you wanted to do. Like that feels really good.
Yeah, I'm not content. I'm still just want to keep going.
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a couple more questions, but on the topic that we're talking about, I think one of the big quotes that I reckon mean like a lot to people as well when they really think about it is like the quote normally is like the grass is greener on the other side, but realistically it's like where you water it. So I think when people think about like, oh man, I'm going to cruise to this big city or I'm going to do this and it's going to be so much better, I think they're just going to be doing, like as Tristan said, like the same crap there. So like they're not putting any energy on time to really like leveling up or making that better, where like you can kind of do that stuff here. Like you can remodel yourself or change your perspective or do whatever. Sometimes it takes a bit, you know, like to figure that out. But, you know, like it's just wherever you want to make home or what you want to do with it or what you think is home kind of thing. But yeah, I definitely reckon that's one of those things.
Yeah, so I suppose when people change the location, it's almost like a bit of a Band-Aid kind of thing. It's like,
For sure.
you know, something's got to change inside my head, but I can't do that, so I'm going to just move somewhere else.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you're just as scattered as when you were back there. Like, yeah.
And I think too, like Brisbane's just got that stigma. Like everyone around, like, well, I know everyone around here anyway. If they want to move somewhere bigger and better, they just choose Brisbane. Like it's just got that stigma about it. That's like,
Oh, bro, it's
where
the
you go if you
capital
wanna
city
be.
closest. Like
that's what I'm
just
saying.
what's
That's what I'm
gonna
saying.
happen.
Like that's where you're going to go. But I think if you think about it, if you don't, like if you have something set up there, yeah, fair enough. But if not, there's so many other places where you could be living the same life or if not a bit better, where it just work out better for you, you know, financially or whatever you want to be doing. But yeah, I think it's just that thing too, growing up, everyone has that dream of getting to Brizzy because it's the main city around us, you know. You hear similar things over in WA, people up north want to get to Perth. And then they get there and it's a similar thing, you know, they realise they spend a lot more money living the same life.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, people just thinking all the same thing and doing the same stuff kind of thing.
Yeah.
I've got a few questions then. This can be related to barbering or you guys traveling, but it's just a couple of like random ones. Is there something that you guys are tired of telling or explaining to people, whether it would be traveling or barbering?
That we're not that close of friends. That, you know, we're sleeping in
I
separate
hate
beds.
him with a passion.
I'm sick of that joke. You know? Oh, he's in the same van. You got bunks? I bet you share the same bunk, though. Shut up. Shut up. All right.
I was thinking that when you were talking about it being cold, I just pictured you guys cuddling. Like,
Yeah,
while
right,
you guys
head to
were
toe
talking.
it.
Yeah.
No, we get blankets and
Blanket.
hoodies
Yeah,
and
yeah.
trackies, like,
But like-
thermals.
But together still though, yeah?
Yeah. The same pair, the same hoodie.
Yeah.
Triple XL so we can cuddle, you know, one arm each.
Yeah.
Nah.
Nah, that one is a bit of a joke one, but
Yeah,
for
yeah.
real.
Well, like, what was the question again?
What are you tired of explaining to people? Like, what's like a misconception like about either barbering or traveling that you guys just get? Like, you know, you guys have hit the road, like as Tristan said.
Yeah.
Everyone reckons that you guys just cuddle every night.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
I know it happens, and you guys are just joking about it now. But like, you know,
But like oh man, I'm trying to think. The biggest G up was definitely fuel prices. You know, that definitely was annoying. But as far as like saying stuff that annoys me, like I love barbering, man. I'd never get sick of talking about barbering.
I think that's why we love barbering, because we can talk so much.
Yeah.
Like, even if people don't want to listen to you, you're going to talk to them about it anyway.
I talk about me.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah, you love yourself. Love yourself too much. No, but I think that helps, that we love talking and love sharing our experiences and stuff. You don't really get sick of talking.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Well, that was the whole
Yeah.
idea about the podcast and no one helping me out and stuff like this. Like, Noah, not no one. Is that yeah. No, Noah. Anyways, yeah, like, because I think it's selfish. Like, as barbers, we hear like the coolest stories and hear the funniest crap, but it's weird that, like, to think all the stories that we hear throughout our days, no one gets to hear this. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we might have like some 80-year-old dude that we're doing like a 2 all over on, and he tells us like the coolest stories. And you just think, man, no one probably even hears this guy's stories. You know what I mean? He's just probably just chilling at home. He probably just wanted to come out and have a little bit of a yarn, but we get to experience that or have that like moment of storytelling. Like, we all got in trouble at school for talking. So it's weird that we're getting paid. We hear all these stories, and realistically, like, as dark as it sounds, like, when we die, everything is just stories. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's cool to hear all these like little things between everyone that we literally just every day, you know, like, we'll bust out 16 haircuts, you know, on a normal day, and we hear like 16 different stories essentially. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's cool.
Yeah, totally.
I think it's awesome too with that retrospect. Like, you get to listen to people's life lessons and learn it without living through it. You know, you get to listen to the horrors and the goods of any situation, of number situation. You get to learn things you never even thought you'd think about. You know what I mean? Which I think is really cool.
Through other people's life lessons.
Pick up wisdom through other people's lives. I think it's
and like
definitely
just
rewarding.
Inspiration too, man. Like, especially like like for us old dudes, when they come in and like we're telling them like what we're keen on doing, all that type of stuff, they just back you 100%, and just, you know, nothing but just positivity, and like you just kind of almost that whole don't want to regret nothing from them. Yeah, like, they definitely have reinforced that into you, and I think that is a big reason why we were so confident about jumping on the road, because we chat to these people, and these people like believe in us, kind of thing, and that gives us the confidence that it's all going to be all right. Yeah, you know. Yeah.
Well, they get it. Like, it's, you know, like, what is the worst besides you guys friggin' crashing and dying? Like, if you work backwards from that, like,
it's pretty bad.
Yeah, that is bad. But like you guys hitting the road and doing your thing, like, as you guys said from the very get go, like, if it doesn't work out, you guys can come back or whatever. You know,
you'll always take us on. You love us. You always got a spot for us.
I will. Yeah, nah. But all right. Well, I've got a few more quick questions, and basically we'll wrap it up after this. So, for the first one, if you guys had to choose like a choice of food that you guys had to eat forever now that you guys are especially on the road, what would you guys pick if it could be whatever?
Peanut butter sandwiches and oranges.
For real? I bet you'd be sick of it when you freaking got stranded with $17 in your account.
You go through waves, man. You go through waves, and it's like, oh yeah, it's pretty good.
Do you put the oranges on the peanut butter or not? Nah, they don't. They don't touch.
It's sweet.
Ooh. How about you, Tristan?
Eating the food for the rest of my life.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Oh,
you're forever.
That is hard though.
I reckon double coat Tim Tams.
You already picked yours.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say KFC, bro, but they changed out lettuce, and that's not the one. Bro.
Yeah, that is. Yeah. What do they do? They did.
I don't know. It smells like chemicals though. So I'm off them, bro. KFC.
He goes to KFC for the lettuce, bro.
Man, yell at. What would you? What would you say to KFC then?
Fix your lettuce. Oh, KFC Colonel. Fix your lettuce, mate. Go back to the old ways,
heard
bro.
Heard it once, heard it twice.
Colonel's dead.
And just make extra salt standard, bro. Make extra salt
Damn.
standard. Yep. I'm calling it, bro.
Holy.
I'm calling it.
All right. Favorite movie? Do you guys even get to watch movies while you're on the road? Is that a thing?
We watch a footy.
You guys
That's
don't
not
have
a movie.
You don't have a TV, eh? Like, you just watching your phone.
Yeah, watching their phone.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit of a Marvel geek, so when there's new Marvel movies, trying to make it a thing, go cinemas and check it out, and it's a little bit of a treat too. Check out cinema. You've gone to everyone and loved them.
I fell asleep in the cinemas.
Yeah, one time.
It's comfy though.
Yeah, man.
Nah, favorite movie?
Favorite Marvel movie then, if you had to choose that.
Or Spider-Man. Straight up. Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I'll probably say Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't watch any kids movies, mate. So
Oh,
no,
yeah.
Talks it up.
nah.
But my favorite movie is How to Train a Dragon.
Yeah. Nah, I like Tarantino, bro. So I'd have to probably choose like Pulp Fiction or Django. They tend to be my two faves.
I still haven't seen Django, but I'm actually disappointed on Pulp Fiction. You talked me into watching it, and nah, not
Yeah,
it.
but you like
I think
Kung Fu
no,
Hustle, bro.
No. I think I watched
Kung
it too
Pao.
late. I think if I watched Pulp Fiction when it came out, it would have been mind-boggling. Like the whole, the whole
shut up.
story. Yeah, have you watched it? You seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but everyone's doing that type of friggin' thing now, I reckon.
Not even, man. It's original, bro.
Yeah, I don't know.
Gets a bit defensive, eh?
Yeah.
Talks crap on everyone else's movie.
Yeah.
Gets real defensive, eh?
Sat back, man. He's on butthead now.
Want that tear away?
Yeah. Out of winter or summer, which one you picking?
Summer.
Man. Fuck winter.
Bro.
Winter's
Bro.
shit.
You
can't
get me
swim.
sweating and uncomfortable. Yeah, you go for a swim, you're sweet. But when you're cold, bro, you are cold, uncomfortable. I pee a lot in the cold too, which sucks. Like, with summer.
Okay, summer. All right. And last one. What is something weird that you don't realize until you think about it?
The questions you come up with?
Yeah,
Maybe.
that's one. That's definitely one. The one we always say a lot is the first person that decided to drink milk from
Well,
a cow. Like
yeah,
that.
that's a good one.
That's
I've been
creepy.
thinking about this one, man.
Why are you whispering, bro? Like we're gonna lean into here.
Suspense.
Yeah.
Suspense on the podcast. Nah, I've been thinking, so what do you think we brush our teeth with before toothpaste?
I don't know.
Boom.
I was thinking like what we used to do when we like
gotta use the button.
what do we used to do if we wanted to sit down and we didn't have a seat? We were just like,
Oh, Asian crouch, bro.
is that what they did?
Can you show us?
Yeah.
Can you show us?
Yeah.
Give us an example on the couch.
Yeah.
It's like one of these ones.
Yeah.
You need a cigarette.
That or a ladder, I think is weird. Like if something got stuck up there and we didn't have a ladder, we just
I reckon a rope.
a rope.
Yeah.
I think they gave up.
You get a lasso, man.
I think they just
Hey,
gave
just
up,
throw
bro.
your baby up there, bro. It'll be alright.
Catch it.
Chuck it down,
How you
catch him.
get the baby mid-air, grab the item,
Yeah,
and
bro.
then you catch
Yeah.
the baby on the way down.
Yeah, pretty much.
Parkour.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Parkour, baby.
Yeah. That'd be interesting. What's your one?
People that put on sock shoe.
Oh, what the
I
hell?
think that's weird.
That is
that's
weird.
Sorry to shout you out, call you out if that's you, but bro, just put your socks on and then your shoes.
Wait, here's one. Do you put your pants on first or your socks?
Yeah, so I put my pants on first and then my socks.
Yeah,
Even
that's what I
long
do.
pants.
Huh?
Long pants.
Yeah.
Nah, long
Any
pants. I
pants.
go socks first.
I like honestly in
Like,
realistically,
say if you pull them all the way up and doing all this like
Yeah.
stuff, bro. You just chuck
Oh,
it on,
yeah.
slide it on.
but I forget. And you just kind of
All right. Anyway.
Yeah, that was the last question. Yeah, but yeah, I think
Sweet.
that's weird.
What
If-
about you, bro? What do
what's
you
something weird?
reckon?
Well, it was something weird. I
Yeah,
got
something
heaps, bro.
weird.
Yeah, but the milk one's the main one. That's my main concern. Someone sat there and was like, "Man, I'm pretty thirsty. Water's not good
What's
enough."
hitting silver, man?
That cow's looking pretty good. It's got udder.
Milkshake.
But
Yeah,
what
yeah.
about the fellow who realised you can only get it from females and not males?
But he found out the hard way.
Like, do you reckon that was the first guy or second guy? Like, second guy just seen him, he's like, bro, I gotta try that. Oh, wrong one. Wrong one. I don't like
choice.
this milk. I don't like this milk.
Yeah. I don't know. The whole thing's just creepy. And this one's even more weirder. But the idea that we drink like cow's milk and that's cool. Like everyone's all sweet with that. What if I went to drink Geordie's breast milk? That's weird.
Have you drank it?
Yeah, you've tasted it, bro.
You've tasted it.
You've definitely
Slightly,
tasted
but
it.
yeah.
What is it? What does it taste like?
Yeah, no, it doesn't taste like milk. It's like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain
it.
it.
Tastes like Fruit Loop milk. That's what dads have told me. It tastes like Fruit
can't
Loop milk.
remember, man.
Sweet, eh?
Yeah.
Apparently. Anyway.
I don't know. I'd be more accepting drinking breast milk than the cow's milk. You know what I mean?
With your wheat beef.
Yeah, in a way. And I'd save money. Like,
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
true,
it's
man,
two
you
for
know.
one bargain.
Yeah.
All right.
On that
Oh,
note,
wait, we're going to wrap it up soon anyway. So for anyone that's listened for this long, if you guys had to say anything or to wrap up this whole thing, what would you guys say?
thanks for
Get out
listening.
of your comfort zone. Try something different. And if you're stuck in a rut, just do something completely wild. You might like it.
Got nothing to lose, guys. Got nothing to lose.
You can always come back to square one. Square one's always there to start off with.
Yeah, cool. So that pretty much wraps it all up. I have no name for this podcast. We're just winging it, as I said. But my name's Miguel. We got Tristan and we got Curtis. Thank you so much. Big shout out to Noah as well for helping us with all this. I'll press this button.
Yeah.
And we're out.
Cheers, guys.